Hi, my name's SeanMandrake and I'm the owner, proprietor and designer of all the pedals here at AudioStorm. Now I'd like to introduce you first today to our array of HotBox units. These are attenuators, power brakes, they've got many different names. Their sole purpose is to absorb some of the output power of your amplifier so that you can drive your amplifier harder and louder and make it really work to give it that great tone, but output less actual signal to the speakers. Now this is of use particularly for valve amplifiers, tube-driven amplifiers, where we're looking for that rich 60s, 70s tone of an amp at its absolute full, just thrashing and beating away. But we don't want to deafen ourselves, give ourselves hearing damage. We have to live with the neighbours, we have to live with the studio tech and the business where they're going to scream at you and say, "You're going to turn that loud amp up, we've got other customers." And to capture that tone, what this will do is turn a lot of that power into heat. Very simple. Now 60 watts of amplifier doesn't generate a lot of heat, so it's not a problem. We don't need a lot of heat sinks, we just need a good solid cast chassis with high quality, high spec components, and that's what we use here. Now there's a lot of other manufacturers that offer this product, but their products are far more complicated. They offer a lot of options that we've simply found customers don't need, they don't want, and they're paying a lot of money for stuff they're never going to use. After a lot of research, we found that the majority of people just want one or two different reduction levels. The HotBox 60 is aimed at those of you out there who have 60 watt or lower amplifiers. 50, 30, 25, whatever you've got there. You know, as you well know, there's a loud amplifiers. You turn those up, it makes a lot of racket. What it will do is absorb 10 decibels of power. Now it doesn't sound a lot, but 10 decibels in watt terms is a 10 to 1 ratio. That's going to turn your 60 watt amplifier into a 6 watt amplifier. Much more manageable. 6 watts is still pretty loud, it's ideal for recording. 3 to 5 watts, something in that region. It's not going to make any changes to the tone of your amplifier, although it is going to change very slightly how it interacts with the speaker, because your speaker's not going to be moving as far. It's a very simple device. You simply plug the amplifier into the amp socket, the speaker into the speaker socket. In other words, it goes in between, in line with your speaker output. That's it. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. If you need a bit more power, if 60 watts isn't enough for you guys and the reduction of 10 to 1 isn't enough for you guys, we want more reduction, then we have the HotBox 120. The HotBox 120, as it might sound, is suitable for amplifiers up to 120 watts. It's actually rated a lot higher than that. That's the rating we sell it at, but it doesn't get too warm at that kind of power output. It can take a lot more peak and a lot more abuse. All of our pedals are built like that. They're very high spec. Now, in addition to the 10 to 1, 10 decibel reduction setting that you see on the HotBox 60, we have a switch on the top here. And this switch switches to 16 decibels. That's 31 reduction. So that's going to take your 120 watt amplifier down to 4 watts. If you use this with a 50 watt amplifier, that's going to take it down, I can't quite do the math there, if it was 60 watts it takes it to 2, so about 1.7, 1.8 watts. Really, really low power output, something you can really work with. And you have the choice between the two, between a standard 10 decibel reduction, which is good for most situations, and a 16 if you really need to get the volume down. Again, they built just big slabs of heavy metal, big high quality components, and they're designed to dissipate that heat efficiently. Takes no risk to your amplifier, takes no power, needs no additional extras. You just plug it in and go, exactly the same. In the amplifier, out of the speaker. Now it's pretty hard to demonstrate. So it's pretty hard to demonstrate a HotBox on YouTube. There's a lot of compression going on, there's a lot of different things YouTube's going to do. So I'm going to do my best at this end to keep the levels really even. I'm not going to change anything, I'm not going to compress anything, I'm just going to play some guitar, and I'm going to put the HotBox in line and then play some more guitar, and then switch the mode and play some more guitar. Then I'm going to try a cool test, see if we can hear me speak over a traditional 60s 50 watt amplifier, and this is a loud amplifier with vintage 30s that are known to be loud, efficient speakers that get the maximum out of your amplifier, and we're going to see if you can hear me speak over this thing, and I think you will. Whereas I guarantee you, if this was a live situation, you would not hear a vocalist scream over this thing. So here we go, I'll do the best I can. Okay, so for this next demonstration, what I've done is put the SM57 microphone about halfway between myself, my mouth, and the amplifier, about there in fact. Now I'm going to play with the amplifier pretty much full, so you can hear the amplifier overdriving. This is purely the 50-watt valve amp's own overloading sound, with the HotBox absorbing most of the power. Now the HotBox will be on the maximum reduction of 16 decibels, that's 30:1 reduction ratio. So let's turn this up. Hear a bit of hiss there now, and I'm just going to stop speaking and start playing. You should be able to hear me just about over the top of the amplifier. I'm not yelling, I'm just loud speaking. Yeah, I'm making some noise. As you can see there, the level coming out of the amplifier is not much louder than my voice at a slightly raised level. Just gives you an idea how much reduction is taking place. Ideal for studio recording environments, ideal for reducing your amp and offering a lot more controllability, allowing you to overload those tubes and really get a cool sound out of the amp without any other pedals. If you want to take that the whole next step further, all you have to do is add in some kind of an overdrive to overload your amplifier at the front, and you get that classic 70s rock sound without hearing damage. So let's see if we can do that. This will be pretty mad. Yeah, and it's not a whole lot louder than that.